I paid for my girlfriend's medical school, then she cheated on me, so I cut her off, watched her life fall apart. At 31, I believed I had life figured out. I worked as a logistics coordinator at a mid-sized firm in Atlanta, lived modestly, saved diligently, and thought I had found the woman I would eventually marry. We met at a sprawling music festival in Savannah. It was one of those events where strangers became friends over bonfires and drinks. She was 26, vivacious and ambitious, and studying biology with dreams of becoming a physician. From the start, we clicked. She admired my discipline, and I admired her passion. As our relationship progressed, her aspirations to attend med school became central to her life, and gradually, to mine. When she finally got accepted into a competitive program in Florida, we celebrated like we had won the lottery. But what started as a dream soon began to unravel in ways I hadn't expected. Her financial situation was fragile. Her parents, though emotionally supportive, couldn't assist her monetarily. Loans scared her, and she often expressed anxiety about accumulating debt. I had been saving since I was a teenager thanks to lessons from my grandfather, who always preached the value of preparing for the unexpected. Moved by love and a sense of partnership, I offered to cover her tuition, housing, and living costs. There were no legal agreements, no notarized contracts. Just a few emails and texts where she promised to pay me back once she started practicing. At the time, I didn't see the need for more. I genuinely believed in us. I wrote checks to her school, transferred money for rent, bought her textbooks, and supported her in every way I could. In the beginning, she was grateful. She sent long messages expressing how much my support meant. She'd surprise me with handwritten notes and quick visits when she wasn't overwhelmed with coursework. We spent quiet weekends together, and my family adored her. She seemed all in, and I was proud to be a part of her journey. But slowly, the tone shifted. She grew distant, more preoccupied with appearances and status. Her texts became shorter, her visits less frequent. She developed a taste for expensive restaurants, fancy parties, and spontaneous getaways with her new med school friends. I tried to be understanding, chalking it up to stress and the pressure of medical school. But deep down, I felt something was slipping away. Then came the first real crack. She attended a med school gala and for the first time didn't invite me. Said it was boring and formal and that I wouldn't enjoy it. That night she came home late, carrying a scent that didn't belong to her. I wanted to trust her, so I let it slide, but my instincts were already on alert. Over the next few weeks, more signs emerged. Secretive texting, whispered calls outside the apartment, and unexplained absences. One afternoon, while she was asleep on the couch, her phone lit up with a message from someone saved simply as T. The preview said, "Last night was amazing." I felt a chill. Still, I waited. I tried not to jump to conclusions, but everything crystallized the day I brought her lunch as a surprise. She was at a cafe near campus, holding hands with a sharply dressed man. The betrayal on her face when she saw me said it all. She introduced me as a friend. That word stung more than anything. That night, after an explosive argument, she admitted she was seeing someone else. And then she delivered the final blow. She needed someone who could offer her the future she deserved. The implication was clear. I wasn't enough. I spent a few days in a fog, oscillating between grief and rage. But once the fog lifted, I knew I couldn't let this end with me as the silent casualty. I had invested not just emotionally, but financially. Thousands of dollars that weren't gifts, but contributions to a shared future that she had discarded. I cut her off immediately. No more rent, no more tuition, no more supplies. My family stood behind me, especially my grandfather, who reminded me that self-respect should never be sacrificed for love. I contacted my cousin Darius, a legal advisor, and laid out the entire story. We combed through our digital correspondence and found clear statements where she acknowledged the funds as loans. We sent her a formal demand letter. I tried to settle things amicably at first, meeting her one last time to ask for a partial repayment. She laughed, said the money was given freely, and she wasn't obligated to return it. She even hinted that her new partner would support her if needed. That arrogance turned my resolve into steel. After that, I filed a case in small claims court for the amount that fit within the legal limit. For the rest, my cousin helped draft separate civil claims. Her parents called me, furious and accusatory. Her mother accused me of ruining her daughter's future. Her father tried to shame me into dropping the claims, but I stood firm. Meanwhile, reality started catching up with her. Without my financial support, she fell behind on rent. Her tuition payments became irregular, and she began dropping courses. Rumors started to circulate among her classmates. Some criticized me, but others confided that she had boasted about my support, treating it like a prize she had won. She began reaching out late at night, first with anger, then with remorse. She claimed she was overwhelmed, that she made a mistake, that things had moved too fast. I didn't engage. I reminded her that she could speak to my lawyer. Eventually, we were assigned a mediation session through the court. I arrived with Darius and my grandfather. She showed up with her parents, visibly shaken and no longer carrying that air of superiority. Her mother cried, accusing me of being cruel. The mediator had to redirect her multiple times. When it was finally her turn to speak, she tried to frame the money as emotional support, claiming I used it to control her. I presented the messages, time-stamped and explicit. Her father proposed a compromise. We each walk away and forget it ever happened. I refused. After hours of negotiation, we agreed on a repayment plan that covered most of what I had spent. It wasn't everything, but it was enough to bring me peace. The ordeal left her academically and financially drained. She had to withdraw from the next semester. Her new partner, it turned out, wasn't prepared to take on the burden she carried. She moved to a cheaper apartment and picked up side jobs to make ends meet. Meanwhile, I reclaimed my sense of direction. I took the money she repaid and partnered with my father to invest in a small real estate project on the outskirts of the city. The experience taught me hard but invaluable lessons. Now I'm more guarded, more deliberate. Any future financial help I give will be formal, documented, and carefully considered. In hindsight, I realize that love without boundaries can become a liability. She didn't just break my heart, she exploited my trust. And I didn't seek revenge for its own sake. I sought justice. Her actions had consequences, and she learned that the hard way. Today I focus on work, self-improvement, and surrounding myself with people who value sincerity over status. I'm not bitter, just wiser. And if my story can serve as a cautionary tale to anyone in a similar situation, then sharing it is worth it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more stories that uncover the raw, real side of relationships and resilience.